All right, I'm going to declare a quorum. I'm going to call the meeting of the City of Groton Mayor and Council meeting for Monday, November 2nd to order. Clerk Patrick, please call the roll.
Present are Mayor Keith Hedrick, Deputy Mayor Jamal Beckford, Councilors Lisa McCabe, Reginald Stanford, Guinevere Depot, Rashad Carter, Finance Director Ron Uhas, Clerk Deborah Patrick, excused as Councilor Minerva Ortiz.
Okay, in response to the State of Connecticut Executive Order Number 7B, protection of public health and safety during COVID-19 pandemic and response, further suspension or modification of statutes dated March 14, 2020, suspending in-person open meeting requirements. All public meetings will be closed to the public at this time. Public meetings will be available on Groton Municipal Television Channel 2 in real time or by calling 860-440-9974. Okay, next item on the agenda is salute of the flag. We stand with pledge allegiance. All right, I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Before we go to recognitions, awards, and memorials, I want to let you know of a couple things. It is with a heavy heart that I report that one of our employees, Matt Lyons, passed this weekend. He has worked with the electrical division for 26 years, and he was recently promoted to general foreman of electric, and he will be missed by all. And in addition to that, I received word this weekend that Nancy DeMarinis passed recently. And for those of you that are in politics, she preceded you guys, preceded me actually too. And she was the founding mother of the Women's Center of Southeastern Connecticut, which is now known as Safe Futures. She served for many years as board president, support group facilitator, and hotline counselor. But she also served on the city council and on the town council. And she was the Connecticut 40th District State Representative for 4 terms. So she gave a lot to this area and to the city of Groton. So with that, I would like to take a moment of silence to recognize them for their contributions. Okay, moving on. Our next item on the agenda is recognitions, awards, and memorials. It is my honor to read a proclamation for Barbara Frook. It says, Office of the Mayor, City of Groton, Connecticut, proclamation in appreciation of Barbara Frook. Whereas Barbara Frook has tirelessly served the City of Groton for the past 35 years, and whereas Barbara and Murray Frook moved their family to the City of Groton in 1967, and whereas in 1985, Barbara was appointed to serve as an alternate member of Zoning Board of Appeals, and whereas Barbara was elected City Treasurer where she served from 1995 to 1997, and whereas in 1997, Barbara was elected as the City Clerk where she served until 1999, and whereas as her term as City Clerk ended, Barbara was reappointed as a member of the Zoning Board of Appeals. And whereas Barbara served the residents of the City of Groton by volunteering with the Winter Wonderland and actively served with Little League, Farm League, and Babe Ruth League at Washington Park, as well as working with the Eastern Point Beach Gatehouse from 2005 to 2009 as crossing guard for the City of Groton Police Department. And whereas Barbara served on the Board of Trustees at the Bill Memorial Library since 2004, where she was elected president and currently serves as vice president. Therefore, be it resolved that the mayor and city council wish to recognize Barbara Frook for her 35 years of dedicated service and leadership to the City of Groton, dated in Groton, Connecticut, this 2nd day of November 2020, signed Keith Hedrick, City of Groton Mayor. So, Barbara, thank you for everything that you've done for us. Put my mask back on and we're going to present this. Missy, do you want to Barbara, I'll come to you.
I think that's the obituary now.
Out here? Okay. All right, let's do this, so there is a delay.
Okay, yep.
There we go. Thank you. We'll look and smile at them.
Yeah,
We can make googly out of the way.
I know, how do you know?
You and I go way back.
Yes,
We do?
and you tell Carlton, I wanna know why he's not here tonight.
Well, he is.
Yeah,
Let me get you back over. Thank you very much.
thank you, it's
Yes,
been
ma'am.
my pleasure.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you very much for what you've done.
Thank you for that. Are you taking a picture of the group? No.
Okay. Let's see, where are we here? I need a motion to suspend the rules to move Resolution R-20-11-117 immediately following recognitions, awards, and memorials.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstention, motion carries. Counselor McCabe.
Resolution 20-11-117. Therefore, be it resolved that the mayor and council approve the appointment of William J. Legrodowitz as a probationary police officer grade D in the City of Groton Police Department, waive the residency requirement, and that the appointment be effective November 2nd, 2020. I so move.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Chief, would you mind addressing the council?
Good evening. It's my distinct privilege to bring before the council William J. Legrodowitz of Preston, Connecticut. He's 44 years old. He is a 1994 graduate of Stonington High School. He was a starter on the 1991 state championship football team at Stonington High School. Served 4 years in the United States Marine Corps, honorable discharge at the rank of corporal. He has his associate's degree from Briggs College in Norwalk, Connecticut, in computer network operations. He has his bachelor's at the University of Bridgeport in applied computer sciences. He has extensive private sector experience, including work at Pratt & Whitney and General Dynamics locally. He is a lateral to this agency, where he has been a MAD award winner for the Wallingford Police Department, serving there from 2017 to present. He is a solid narcotics officer with a reputation and well-liked in Wallingford. He is described as a kind and patient officer with a great skill set for calming those who are highly upset. He is described universally as a hard worker, dependable, caring, and goes the extra step to help others. Remarkable in his background as a coworker commented during his background about dropping everything he was doing after a shift to help that fellow employee with a flooded basement. We are fortunate with so few seeking police work as a profession today that we have a lateral who is a Marine veteran who has earned his bachelor's degree. His knowledge of computer systems is a skill this agency desperately needs moving forward as we modernize equipment. He and Alina live in Preston with their 8-year-old son. He seeks a schedule that is more conducive to family needs and a shorter commute, and is very eager to join our agency, and we're very fortunate to have him. So I'm very happy to present him to the council for consideration.
Comments from the council? Okay,
Welcome aboard.
welcome aboard, absolutely. All right, we have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye. Opposed? Abstention? Motion carries. Kirkpatrick, will you please swear him in?
Yes. If you stand on the other side of the podium and face the camera so that they can see you and not me. Raise your right hand, please. I do solemnly swear or affirm that you will faithfully support and defend the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of Connecticut. You will discharge the duties of a police officer grade D with the City of Groton in accordance with the law and the rules and regulations of the city and said department. faithfully serve our citizens and visitors with honor and integrity, promote and maintain the public trust, and adhere to the department's code of ethics. You assume these obligations freely, voluntarily, and without reservation. Congratulations and welcome aboard.
Who's gonna do the pinning?
Present with his badges.
All right. Great. Do we want to take a minute for pictures?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, I'm going to call for a 5-minute recess. Maybe I will, maybe I won't. I think they want us in the picture.
We'll all smile through our masks.
Chief, do you want us to go out there? Okay, we are going to have a 5-minute recess so the council can get pictures with the new officer. Okay, I'm going to call the meeting back to order. The next item on the agenda is receipt of citizens petitions. Receipt of citizens petitions is the portion of the council meeting where the council welcomes comments from citizens. To address the council, please call 860-440-9974. Clearly state your name and address. Each presentation should be limited to 5 minutes or less, and citizens should, if possible, submit emailed or written comments. Presentations should be related to matters pertinent to the city of Groton. City councilors will only ask questions in order to clarify the speaker's presentation and can respond during responses to citizens petitions portion of the meeting. Okay, give me a moment here. Okay, I'm gonna move on. Response to citizen petitions, we'll skip by that since there were no comments. Approval of the minutes. I need a motion to approve October 19, 2020 mayor and council meeting minutes.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Are there any corrections? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstention, motion carries. And I need a motion to approve the October 26, 2020 committee of the whole meeting minutes.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Are there any corrections? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
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 Opposed, abstentions. Communications and reports. We'll start with city financials. Ron?
So in your pack, there was the financials for the city, just an expense report, the standard report that we do monthly. We decided to skip doing this at the cow when it was on Skype to do it in person, so that's why we're doing it today as opposed to the last meeting. So this is an overview through September 30th. All departments are pretty much on track with the 80%, roughly. Some items you'll see that are 100% that they haven't spent anything yet. The legislative and citizens participation, which that one has to do with City Day being canceled. But other than that, all the other departments are on track, just kind of starting the year off again. We're still early in the year, so there's capital items that haven't been spent and some other things, but there's nothing that jumps out as unexpected in any of the departments.
Any questions on city financials? Okay, Rod, utilities financials?
We'll start on page 6 with the electric division. And this is, again, year to date through, so it's through the first quarter for all three divisions. Line 19, the total electric revenue came in at 13.2 million, or 400,000 above budgeted of the 12.8. The main drivers there are the residential and the industrial. which made up for the shortfall in the commercial class. Line 41, the total operating expenses came in below budget at 13.5 versus a budget of 13.8, or 250,000 under. Again, the main driver there is the operation and maintenance line. There was a large storm, as you're familiar with, in August, which Bosra ended up getting a lot of the expenses because the crews were going up there for outages. So from the operating and maintenance side, the crews were up there working. So again, that was one of the reasons for the under budget in the operation maintenance. And again, you'll see the purchase power, as we've seen the last month or two, is above budget, and that's driven based on the increased revenue. So we have the increased power bill. Go to line 15, net income from operations. We're at 1.6 to date, above budget of 952, or 638,000 above the budget. So electric division is maintaining and staying, on course with the budget, or actually in a favorable manner through the first quarter. So that's the quick overview on electric.
Any questions on electric? Okay, water?
I'll flip to page 12. Row 17, the total water for revenue came in at 3.15 versus the budget of 3.1, or about 45,000 over budget on the revenue. Again, the main drivers there were the residential, and the commercial had a shortfall, just with everything going on. Total, line 30, total operating expenses came in at 2.6 million versus the budget of 2.8, or 182,000 below budget. The main driver there is the operation and maintenance, and just coming in below budget with the stuff that they're doing. Line 44, the net earnings before the DWSRF grant is 603,000 versus the budget of 41,000, or 562,000 favorable. And that's again for just the first quarter, so. Again, nothing's jumping out in the water department at this
Okay,
point.
any questions on water? Okay, sewer?
We'll flip to page 17. Row 15, the total sewer revenue came in at 1.2 million versus the budget of 1.1, or 160,000 over budget. The main driver there is the industrial class, the 128. There was a large industrial customer that had some issues with their deduct meter. So that's being resolved and trued up. So they're on I believe it's through December to get that issue resolved, where they don't have the deductions coming out for the water use, for the water use related to the sewer. That doesn't come back to the system. So that variance should come back in line the first of the year. Line 26, the total operating expenses, 720,000 the actual versus the budget of 907,000, or 188,000. The same story here as in water, the operation and maintenance being the main driver for the favorable budget of 180,000. Row 37, net income from operations, the actual came in at 481,000 versus the 102,000 budget, or 379,000 favorable. So it's the kind of, all three divisions at the end of the first quarter are running favorable to budget in all categories.
Any questions on sewer? Counselor Depot?
Oh, well, less just sewer, but just a general question. I know we've been talking about the last couple of months. How are we doing on our receivables? Like, are they trending anyway? Just because I think we're in between, right, in the time when we were not cutting people off due
Right,
to COVID, and then we're gonna be it's gonna be winter time. Are we seeing that kind of resolving itself? Have we seen any issues?
once we did cutoffs, because we actually did do some cutoffs, people came in and trued up their bills. So our accounts receivable, number has reduced. I think Tina said,
In my notes from the meeting, it was at 15% over 30, and then we had started the disconnects
Right.
on October 1st. I have a note that it was 7% as of that morning of the UC meeting, which was only 1.5% higher than the previous year or normal. And one of the things that Tina did note was that there's roughly 194,000 of funding that we're anticipated getting. I believe it was from the
TVCCA.
TVCCA and some stuff from the state, some assistance funding that's been allocated that should be coming.
So there's some information that I kind of have put out that's not 100% right, so I'm going to try to clear this up. So 1 November, the TVCCA component of this, you can't do cutoffs anymore. But if there are days above 45 degrees and people haven't paid their bill and they're not on TVCCA, those accounts can be cut. So you can turn those off, and then, once they true up, then they come back on again. But I had said, once 1 November gets here, you can't cut for anybody, and that's not totally accurate. It's more true than not true. But it is accurate when you're talking about those people, those customers that are on a program such as TVCCA. So I wanted to take this opportunity to clarify that, because I think that's important. Okay, Councilor McCabe, communications reports.
No report, sir.
Councilor Stanford,
Nothing to report this time.
Councilor Depot.
I know that I had something. I think since the last meeting, we had a packed meeting.
We did.
And I just, I think, and I've said this before, but the Police and Community Together, committee is continually meeting, so I just wanted to point out if anyone has any input on things that the police can be doing better or different, or suggestions, recommendations, anything, please send them to, any of our emails or the mayor's email, just, cause we're always looking for input. And I know it's not as out there because the issues have kind of died down a little bit, but we're still meeting every month, the, PACT committee. And we're just looking for ways to connect the community and the police department, and that's all.
And we also have, we have the larger pact, and then we have two subcommittees. One is focused on youth activities, and one is focused on community activities. So at the next COW, I'll either get me or the chief to brief you on the types of things each subcommittee is interested in, so that you guys can, that the council can stay connected and updated on what we're doing. Anything else? Okay, Councilor Carter, Deputy Mayor Beckford.
Nothing to report.
Okay, the only thing that I want to say is tomorrow is election day. So if you have not voted, please get out to vote. The municipal building is for District 3. The Zabierski House is for District 2. The polls will be open from 6 o'clock in the morning until 8 o'clock at night. So if you have not already voted, please come out and vote tomorrow. If you watch the news and watch Facebook and things like that, there are some people that are saying there could be some disruption. We have received no credible threats of any disruptive activity. So we have no reason to believe that any of that is going to occur here. There will be a bake sale here. I don't know if it's going to be a bake sale to the Zabierski House or not, but I think that's conducive to voting and not disruptive. So that's just my thought on that. But it is important that everybody gets out to vote. Councilor Depot.
St. John's is running a shuttle, right, for voting?
Yes, there's a shuttle being run, well, actually, the town is running the shuttle from St. John's
Okay.
to the Zabierski House. And that way, everybody gets to vote, because a lot of people walk to where Westside was.
Right.
And now it's at the Z House, it's a little further, and it's also a little more of a convoluted route. So there is, the town did this during the primaries, and they're gonna do it again tomorrow, and they're gonna run a shuttle. So that's great news. All right, let's, committee referrals. Are there any committee referrals? All right, then we will go back to new business, and Councilor Stafford.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Resolution R-20-11-118. Therefore, be resolved that the mayor and council waive the bid process and authorize a purchase order to Axon Enterprise Incorporated 17800 North 85th Street, Scottsdale, Arizona, for the Axon Enterprise body camera software support and storage in the amount of $19,356.00 to be paid from the fiscal year 21 Police Department operating funds. I so move.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. This was discussed during the committee of the whole. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstention? Motion carries. Deputy Mayor Beckford.
Resolution 20-11-119. Therefore, be it resolved that the mayor and council waive the bid process and authorize a purchase order to TriTech Software Systems, a Central Square Company, 1000 Business Center Drive, Lake Mary, Florida, for Information Management Corporation software support in the amount of $14,422.00 to be paid from fiscal year 21 Police Department operating funds. I so move.
Second.
Clerk Patrick.
Oh, is
I
that?
don't know, it says
Oh.
15. It says 15,000.
It says 14 in the resolution.
Yeah.
Therefore, be resolved.
All right.
And so in the front, in the top, it's 15,000. In the resolution, it says
Let me find it.
15,000, but it is written 14,000.
Let's go with the
Uh,
The resolution has 15 and 15
And
at the top.
and
At the top it
committee of
does.
the
It-
whole minutes say 15.
Okay,
I can read that part over
so
again.
let's
if you
read
want.
that so that it, so actually, he read it correctly. No,
But
did you
it
read
was-
14 or 15?
I read 14.
Okay, let's read it correctly, and then we'll make the administrative change.
Sure. So therefore be it resolved that the mayor and council waive the bid process and authorize a purchase order to TriTech Software Systems, a Central Square Company, 1000 Business Center Drive, Lake Mary, Florida, for Information Management Corporation software support in the amount of $15,422.00 to be paid from fiscal year 21 Police Department operating funds. I so move.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. This was discussed during the committee of the whole. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstention, motion carries. Counselor Depot.
Thank you, Mayor. Resolution R-20-11-120. Therefore, be it resolved that the mayor and city council authorize Groton Utilities to contribute up to $500,000 and no cents to Mystic River Homes Incorporated towards the development of Mystic River Homes Congregate in return for matching tax credits as part of the state of Connecticut's Housing Tax Credit Contribution Program. I so move.
Second.
Motion and a second. We discussed this during the committee of the whole. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstention, motion carries. Counselor Carter.
R-20-11-121, therefore be it resolved that the mayor and council authorize Groton Utilities Management to contribute up to $150,000 in no cents to Neighborhood Assistance Act program in return for matching tax credits pending approval from the state of Connecticut. I so move.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. This was discussed during the committee of the whole. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye. Opposed, abstention, motion carries. And I need a motion to go into executive session pursuant to Connecticut General Statutes 1-206E and 1-210-9 to discuss union negotiations.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Oh, want to go into negotiations with council and with Linda Abadizian.
You need a new
Yes.
motion?
Say again?
You need a new motion?
Yeah, let's do a new motion on that.
So moved.
Second.
We'll have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstention, motion carries. Okay. We are in executive session. There will be no business that comes out of this. I'll document time we're out of executive session and adjourn.